Alright, so we are taking a look into patch 11963. This hasn't been launched as of yet of the recording of this video. I think we can expect this to come out in the next few days, I believe. But we're gonna take a look at the looks, look at the changes, and I don't know, we'll discuss around some of these if we think they're good. I think in most previous patches they've been good, but some people are not happy with how much they've changed. Let's just take a dive in right now. They announced it for tomorrow. Okay, so chat is informing me that it is announced that tomorrow, Pacific time, that it will be launched, which is cool. So here we go. For patch 11963, we're continuing to hone in title win rates across the range of possible Civ matchups and making changes to complement some of the updates introduced early in the month. With every patch, we make sure to observe the reaction, response, yada yada yada. What we noticed after our patch is that the changes made to Siege have overly impacted the Chinese. I mean, surely they saw that this was gonna come. Like, Chinese was like super reliant on Siege with a lot of their strategies, which is why they kind of seem underwhelming at the moment. Additionally, we're looking to slow down the early game of the Mongols and Delhi by tuning starting resources, research bonuses, and more. Okay, good. I think for Mongols and Delhi, the biggest thing is their early game, like with how ridiculously strong they are. Like Delhi getting like super quick eco techs, and all the mosque upgrades like really early just makes them strong. Mongols just double producing everything, getting like a ridiculous amount of stone bank by the time they're age 2. Alright, let's go take a look at the particular changes. Wonder costs increase from 3,000 to 6,000. I think this is a team game change that they've made. I mean, it makes sense. In team games, like people were rushing wonders in like I can't remember exactly how long, but it was like 15, 16 minutes. So it makes sense for team. They're not that common across 1v1 anyway, so I don't really have an opinion on this. Most of the time when I saw people build wonders anyway, and whenever I build a wonder, I think I build a wonder like once or twice. Um, I just lose anyway, and most of the people I watch build a wonder lose as well. Stonewall build time increased from 8 to 16 seconds. Additional adjustments made to Delhi Sultan specific wall Stonewall build time. Okay. Um, I think this is good, but at the same time, like this is gonna be good for like when bombards are coming into your base, shooting down your wall, and then you can't like instantly rebuild it, right? But the thing is, like, people can still quick wall with stone walls, so they like start building one segment and then continue to start building all the segments across, and no land unit can get through that unless you have siege. You can't break that. So I think something needs to be done about that. But I mean, it's a step in the right direction. Um, yeah, so that kind of just talks about what I said, like re-walling a segment that's being sieged down or something like that. Made improvements to a bug where Delhi attack. Okay, so animation cancel for elephants are now meant to be fixed. More fixes? Oh, they're monitoring. Okay, they're probably not going to fix it, but I never see this anyway. I don't see many people abusing elephant animation cancel anymore. Like it's a lot more tedious to do. It's not just like, and I think because animation cancel is gone across the board, people just like have a general consensus that they won't do it. Obviously, you get the occasional person that does, but so maps in quick match. Remove Boulder Bay, Confluence, Black Forest. Perfect. Hated all these maps. Um, I think when balance gets better, Boulder Bay might be okay, but for now it's just crap. Confluence, complete crap. Black Forest, just hated it. Uh, So they might actually reintroduce some of these once ranked is released with the spring update, as they have changes coming for Confluence as well as significant changes planned for 1v1 map balance across the board related to resource and relic spawn and notable changes to fishing. So I think this is something we saw in the ranked beta when I played in that. A lot of the maps that had like deep fish, like ancient spires and things like that, they didn't have any deep fish in the ranked beta. And I think that's a lot better for balance, especially if like you're one person that spawns with like two deep sea on your side and the other person has none. So yeah, I'm looking forward to some of the map changes to make it a bit more balanced. Maybe they'll even like put more sheep near your base, and then like fewer out on the map. I think that'd be good as well. Okay, Chinese fixed a bug where the nest of bees would stop firing once its initial target died. Okay, I don't really play much China, so I never really noticed it. But obviously that's a good change that needs to happen. Imperial official and tax changes. We want to encourage more active use of the Imperial official. Taxes were previously too difficult to collect, and we observed that some players would avoid collecting their surplus taxes. We want players to be able to deplete their taxes so that Imperial officials can get right back to supervising. Tax cooldown on buildings increased from 15 to 20 seconds. Fixed a bug that allowed capital town centers to receive taxes after being destroyed. Okay. Supervised bonus increase back from 150 to 200%. So they're increasing the bonus, but also increasing the cooldown. Oh, tax carry capacity increased from 20 to 40. Ooh. Ooh. That's interesting. And the upgrade is from 40 to 80. Wow. So this will be like, you'll actually be able to get like a reasonable income from tax collectors now. Like it'll still take a while to ramp up. I don't imagine like the early game, like age one, there'll be much difference. But in like the mid game or like early mid game, they'll actually be really good, especially if you get this upgrade. Because like every time you look at like a Chinese player's mill or like I don't know, any drop off point, it has so much gold stacked in there, and there's just no way that you'll ever deplete it. So that's what they're kind of aiming to achieve here is like that all the tax that you're collecting as China doesn't just go to waste. I don't know how much of an impact this stuff will have though. Like, will it make them like a decent civ? Yeah, I don't think so. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't see it happening just from like the tax change. Alright, Delhi, Salsa, Infantry, Stonewall, Gate, build time increase. Okay. What? Is this not changing for every civ? Yes, it was just the wall segments that they were talking about before. Alright. Starting wood reduced from 250 to 200. Okay. Just thinking, like, how that's going to affect the opening of Delhi. Like, your mosque costs 100, a house costs 50, so that's already 150. And berries, like a mill is 50, that's already 200. Then you'd also want a mining camp and potentially. Ooh. So maybe this will be interesting to see. Maybe the mosque becomes more meta to build in transition, and that's then going to slow down the production as well. Maybe you'll have to start sheep instead of berries as well. That's interesting. I think this is good. I think that 50 wood slows down the delis quite significantly, but maybe it doesn't if you just start sheep. Maybe you start sheep, you chop an extra, you build a lumber camp instead of a mining camp, and you chop 50 wood for either the mining camp or the mosque. Oh, but you want wheelbarrow. You really want early wheelbarrow. Okay, that'll be interesting. I'll have to like play around with some of the builds with this new starting wood, and I'll probably make a guide on that as well on what I think is the best opener with these new changes. But we'll come back to that. Sanctity bonus gold reduced from 100% to 50%. So they used to get 200, right? So they're gonna get 150, right? I think that's what they're saying. Um, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, 450 with all sacreds. I wonder, and this is something I've discussed with a few people in the past. And what if they just made sanctity scale? Like, if you in feudal age, you had it at just gives you just the 100 gold that like any normal sacred site would give you, but then in castle it goes up to 200 gold. Rather than like this is still going to be strong for getting you up to castle age. I don't think it's going to have a big impact. Um, I guess just in the later games, it's going to be slightly less valuable holding the sacred sites. Obviously, it's still going to be a big part of their game. I think these changes are really good for Delhi. Uh, we'll see how these roll out. Let's see how this feels for like Delhi players. Um, but I also think like maybe the age one techs are still too quick. But maybe with the -50 wood, that's enough to like slow all that down anyway. Like you have to make trade-offs between like wheelbarrow, your moss techs and things like that. Okay, let's go on to Mongols. Mongol wonder increase. Okay, from 4,000 per resource to 8,000. Okay. Mongol Ovu generation is no longer flat 105 per minute. It now automatically scales 80, 100, 120, and 150 by age. And this is something a lot of people were discussing for a long time. I think when you get up to age two, you have so much stone banked if you're not doing any like pike pressure or anything like that. Like you just double produce a couple times and you can match your like you can easily outmatch your opponent and then you can go up off the back of that because half your units are free, right? But I think it's a good change. I wonder, are these numbers still too high though? And I don't know. I don't know. Let's just see. We'll see. I think maybe this is like a big enough impact to like offset the increase in Castle and Imperial. I kind of in Imperial they go up with another Ovu anyway. Developer note: Mongol high stone production early game provided snowballing map control advantage. It also provided a huge percentage boost to their economy at the start of the game. We wanted to spread out the effectiveness of this building so it's not quite as impactful early and with better late game with the lack of walls. Yeah, makes sense. That's good. I still think like it needs to be dropped in age two as well. Maybe even age one. I don't know how much. I think it does what like 2 or 3 damage in it. Can't even remember. I'm not even gonna guess. But I think this needs to be scaled down at all levels. But yeah, the most ridiculous one was the Castle Age Khan. Like he hits Castle before you, and he's got one Khan in the back of your base. None of your units can kill it, and he would kill like 5 of your bills or completely push off your resources. So at least this is a nice start to nerfing the Khan. Yam and Yam network speed bonus time reduced from 20 to 10 seconds. Um, is this enough? Like, you can walk in and out of the Yam network every 10 seconds pretty damn easily. I don't know. Like, it seems like a big change because it's 20 to 10, which is halved, but I still think it's a lot. What's next? We'll have more to share with you regarding our spring update lineup and its upcoming public update preview very soon. In the meantime, our balance team wanted to share the major changes they have brewing for Abbasid, Chinese, and Holy Roman Empire. Alright, where is the love for English? I feel like something needs to be done to English. I don't know what it is. Like I've tried thinking about it and I don't know what it is, but something needs to be done. Like they're really weak in castle. They're quite one-dimensional in age one. I mean, they can go for like a greedy approach with wheelbarrow and farms, but I don't know. I feel like they need to do something. Abbasid Dynasty. The unique units of a civilization should stand out among its production roster and be especially exciting to build. While camels can be useful in some situations, they feel too limited in where they shine. To help camels pop, we're making them less specialized at fighting a single class of unit, more useful across the board. Okay, this is going to be like horse archers, right? Horse archers are kind of underwhelming right now, but um, they used to fight like most unit types. The goal is not to make exclusively camel armies, but for it to be more effective to mix into your composition. Also, every wing at the House of Wisdom should be a strategically viable choice in every age. We like the initial impact created by the economic wing in feudal, but the other choices aren't there yet. We've adjusted the power level of techs, we've moved them to different tiers and reduced costs. This is cool. Like, if they can actually get all the wings to be like somewhat viable in age two, like at every stage, that's gonna be fucking awesome. Like, they're gonna be the coolest civ if that happens. Honestly, they're already like probably they're actually my favorite civ right now. But if they can get like all the wings to be like just as viable as each other, that'd be amazing. The Chinese dynasty system offers a unique and fun way to advance civilization. There are some frustrating parts we'd like to adjust while increasing the overall relevancy of its various unlocks. The special units and building unlocks unlocked by the dynasty will always be buildable once they are unlocked. I thought they already were. No? Okay. In addition, we moved all the dynasty buildings up one age so they become available at the phase in the game where they most needed. Yeah, what? Castle Age Grenadiers, anyone? Uh, Dark Age Zugnu, anyone? I don't know if that's what they mean. I could be interpreting that wrong. Holy Roman Empire. We'd like civilizations to have multiple strategic paths to choose from throughout the course of an entire match. Currently, there's too much power in late game landmarks for the HRE, leading to repetitive gameplay. We are creating more interesting decision making among the landmark choices for the HRE and giving them stronger options for distinctive play in the early game. Ah, that's awesome. This needed to happen for HRE. They're too one dimensional. Like it's always get regnants, get all the relics, build Swabia, print bills. Like and they're both those landmarks are just like insanely broken. I think that's why they're so good on hybrid maps as well. After Hoffenbus, they need a fixture or Palisades. Hmm, I don't know. Burgrove printer, HRE Burgrove will be milled through Swabia. Yeah, just reduce the cost by what is it, like 80% or something like that. Really? Regnit's capture two relics? I don't like that. Um they should instead of making Regnits hold less relics, they should give you more reward for capturing all the relics. So if you like I like the idea of like reducing the bonus gold you get from each relic. Like you reduce it down to 200 gold instead of 300 gold and allow all five to go in there. So you could get like the same amount of gold you could get before by capturing all the relics, but you would get less if you only got three. You know what I mean? So there's more reward in getting all of them, but you're not like reliant on all of it. I don't know. Wanted to have them. I wanted them have Regnit's buff two relics no matter where to put it. I guess but like I think when I say like the five relics or whatever regnants, I think regnants should like buff all the relics that you get. But they don't have to be in the regnants, right? Like you can put them in keeps, you can put them in wherever the fuck you want. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for Swabia to be more extensive anyway. Anyway, that is all the notes, guys. Let me know what you think. Both in YouTube comments and also Twitch chatters. We'll do a quick conversation before I end this. Let me Hatchery buffed keeps is such an unexplored part of the Civ. Would love to see more flexibility in relic placements. Yeah, I agree. Like the only time I use it is if like I get an extra relic and it's already in a tower and then I want to move it to a keep. Someone I do see use it a little bit more is Fitzy here. I even think I saw him prioritize having it in a keep over his regnants once. But that was like for a very specific use case. Like he had the keep on the edge of the water protecting his eco. The new Burgrave is going to be so cool. Hit castle overwhelm. Did they just does the Burgrave does it do faster attacks? That would be cool as well. Like so as soon as you get up to castle, like you can upgrade your units really quickly as well. Yes? Take two. That's cool. I still don't know how good it's gonna be. I think it might be like good compared to what the Regnants is gonna be, depending on what changes they make. If it is two relics, yeah, I don't know. I still think it'll be like yeah, I guess it's gonna be what kind of age two approach you take to the game. They might make age two landmarks more viable to be aggressive or whatever. Like the mine work, it's kind of just like meh right now. Land snake rush poggers. You just gotta have the gold for a land snake rush. The upgrade would be done in 18 secs. Demon every 13. Where are you getting this information from? Is this something they talked about on the live stream? But even the text being 5x? Sometimes they don't balance things by making more interesting, just lowering or increasing numbers and multipliers. Yeah. A jungle met a H2O. Steerboys is a quote from the stream. I don't know about the tech, but I was playing Lost of Arcs on the side as well. Burgrave is 5x. It's going to be the official printer Civ. Yeah. Uh, it's going to be the Office Works Civ. That's what I'm going to call them. A lot of people wouldn't get that because Office Works is probably an Australian brand, but whatever. All right. I'm I'm interested to see how Delhi unfolds after this. Also Mongols. I think Delhi changes are going to impact more than Mongols. I think. Actually, no, that's a lie. The Khan is not as much of a prick in Castle Age as well. I don't know. Yeah, they'll still be good. I think Delhi and Mongols will still be up the top, if not still both the top two civs. Maybe not the top two civs. I'm not sure. I think they'll still be really good though. I mean, they still will ask a lad. They just won't do it in like 3 shots anymore. Oh yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, age two stone tower rushing. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, age two stone tower stuff will be harder to pull off because your opponent will have more time to react. think HRE might be squeezed in with Delhi and Mongols now. Hmm. I mean, maybe not on land maps. Like, I don't think they'll be on land maps. On hybrid, yes, they'll still be like really good. So if you like take a look from an overall perspective, maybe depends on if they hit Swagia. Because any eco damage doesn't month when HO hits Imperial. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about I'm interested to see how the Mongol nerfs play out. It could be that I'm underestimating how much of the early stone impacts the overall gameplay of Mongols. I do think that was an issue, like how much stone they got in the early game, like double producing pikes, and then like, or if they're not double producing pikes, like when they're double producing in feudal, like the amount of double production you can get from feudal is like insane. Yam is a big hit. I disagree, Shadow. I don't think it's a big hit at all. Like 20 seconds was just ridiculous. Like that was just absurd. 10 seconds is still a fucking long time. Like that's just like Yam should be like when they're inside of the certain radius of the towers or whatever. It shouldn't be like they're in there and then they just sprint for the next 10 seconds. Like it's stupid. Yeah, they can like go in and out of the Yam network every 10 seconds. They will need to make a network now. Nah, I don't know.